events where you make meaningful sex educational content, fitness, health, nutrition, relationship advice, and more. And hi guys, and welcome to this reaction overview of the new mcfarlane Warhammer 40k figures, which we never did before. And of course, I am your empress for Warhammer. Getting reviews, and with me is my dear friend Logan, who is a specialist about, a lot of types of figures. And he wanted to buy one hammer one day, even though he's not really a fan because he's not yet in the lore.
Yes, this red guy over
This red
I was
guy
like,
was
going to call him.
yes, in our Ozon Bulgarian site for figures, but back then I don't know when that was, but I didn't know that there's any action figures of Warhammer in Bulgaria. If I knew, I would get it at least one, but now it has become so complicated to get. These figures are so expensive. You have to get them from Amazon. They are nowhere to be found, and there's no more stock in Bulgaria or all those things. And now mcfarlane is releasing a new set of things, so we're going to discuss that. Logan here is very familiar with how mcfarlane thinks and works, and I got very familiar with that too.
I'm not sure if he's even familiar with how he thinks and works, but sometimes.
Yes, and for those of you that don't know, mcfarlane is the guy that created Spawn,
Todd McFarlane is the creator of Spawn and
Venom, and
yes,
he also wrote the comic books of Spawn.
Yes, and he's one of the artists of Spider-Man. He drew when he worked for Marvel, long time ago.
Yeah, and
The creator of Image Comics, the third biggest comic book publisher.
Image Comics, was that the same comic books that created the boys?
No, I think this is Dynamite, but I'm not sure actually. Yeah, I have to check again.
Okay, Image Comics then was that
Well,
created.
the Spawn, Darkness, Wildcats, some of the Tomb Raider comic books were actually also Image Comics, yes. And even today they still make things which are great. The thing about creating Image Comics was when Todd McFarlane created it. It was him, and he took actually Jim Lee. What was it? Rob Liefeld, creator of Deadpool, and some other big artist names back then who were so big, and they were like rock stars at the 90s. And if one of these guys draws your comic books for your publishing house, like Marvel or DC, top sales. But when you draw or create a character, this character does not stay your property. It becomes Marvel or DC property, for example.
Yes.
So even if you're one of the creators, and you don't get all the money, of course, and other things. And McFarlane took some of these guys, and he said, okay, let's make our own publishing house, Image Comics, and he said, and whatever we create stays ours, which he then didn't do exactly, but anyway, someday. And he created Spawn out of that. Rob Liefeld, for example, created the Youngblood. Eric Larsen created the Savage Dragon, and things like that. And whatever these characters are created, everything that they made of, if you make toys, then you get the money because it's for you. Then Todd McFarlane actually created his toy company. He started with these 5 points of articulation basic Spawn figures, which were actually great and very detailed. And after that, he branched out and he started creating more detailed things, so to create, more like a statue-esque figures with no articulation, but really, really detailed and realistically looking. And he made also, of course, Spawn, all the characters that were again part of Image Comics, and even sports people, like famous hockey players, basketball players, but just in one motion, very detailed but no articulation, because he looked at them from an artist perspective. So he said, let them be details, but not too cut the figure with
Too many
articulation.
joints.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or just, we'll cut somewhere and you give articulation to the basketball player to do this. But then again, and the basketball player was going to be in a motion that he's doing like that, side eyes.
Side
Do you
eyes,
know why?
like the new Batman figure, which we are waiting for, by the
Yes.
way, from the movie. We are
Has those,
totally
yes.
out of topic.
Yeah, but that's what basically Todd McFarlane is, and
Yeah, that's his
yeah.
brand. So
Yeah.
whenever you see McFarlane toys, that's this guy. So let's see the new showcase now. We're going to discuss. So first we have as Chaos Marine, and for some reason I just don't know what is his logic when releasing anything from Warhammer, because there's so many things that he could release, but instead he just like picks random stuff. I mean, to me this is very random.
Because as he said in one interview, I release whatever I think it's cool.
Yes.
So that's why in his DC brand actually he has 50 Batman that look with different costumes.
He just likes Batman.
He can sell it. He said I can sell Batman, I can't sell all the others.
I mean, the point is, guys, on what basis he is making exactly these figures? Because first it's a random, Chaos Marine. Then it's a random. Damn it!
Green guy.
No, this is a loyalist salamander from the Salamander chapter, Space Marine, and he's also a captain. I mean, he's only releasing captains, I think. Although this guy, he doesn't seem like captain, but I'm not sure because I'm not really specialist on the Chaos Marines. I'm not a fan of Chaos, but this is a Corn Space Marine, so he decided to pick Corn. I mean, he could have picked also, Nurgle, Zinch, and Slaanesh, and all of that. So it's really random. I don't know how he picks
like
these.
regular soldiers, right?
Well, they're not regular soldiers at all because they're astartes.
Okay, but I mean, you
Yeah.
have more than one in the lore. I mean, either like an army or you have.
They are divided by chapters.
Mhm.
Before there were legions, then they were divided by chapters. So one chapter has like 1,000 astartes. It's a long story, but when we have these, which are the chaos, they were loyalist, loyal to the emperor, to the imperium, but then they decided, oh, f that, we are going to join this or that god, and these are the followers of the blood god. Blood for the blood gods, stones for the stone.
So
yeah, so I don't know how he
I
picks
think
these.
he's doing is what I told you before. I think he's trying to put them more like army builders. Army builders are those type of figures that look the same because of armors, and you can have more than one if it's like an army or a legion or something like that. For the people who want to collect an army, to buy more than one, because then it's warranted because they are the same. I mean, you don't want to build an army out of 5 Batman that are the same. You can make different multiverse versions. So some people do that, like with Stormtroopers, they buy more than one. Maybe that's his logic. Maybe he really he said in an interview, whatever I think it looks cool, I do it because it's my company.
Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, this salamander guy is awesome. But the salamanders, they're a cool chapter. I mean, all chapters are cool. I can't think of a chapter that's not cool. But salamanders are not like the first thing that pops into my mind when I think Space Marines. Not even a little bit, actually.
So maybe it's also what you said, that it's actually not all of them actually have a distinct look based on some art. So maybe he took whatever.
It is really
It is.
whatever.
Right.
I mean,
whatever they have an art of, that that they look like that, so we can make the figure to look like that.
But these guys, they all look like the generic representator of their types of Astarte. So they're still like a generic type of. That's not a particular character.
But there will be some people who.
Well, of course.
It would be
of
interesting
course.
if we actually could teleport ourselves.
Well, the other
in
thing,
America in a shop for these figures, and then we're actually going to see which one of them are the so-called peg warmers. So the one that stays on the peg and nobody buys.
Ah.
Then we're going to see probably he's doing also that he has to check the turf and other things there, because some of them will be more sell and others just not, especially by the Warhammer fans that are going to see, no, I don't need this, or okay, I need just 2 of those.
Well, the point,
Yeah.
okay, what's there? So if you're a Warhammer fan and if you see these, the way that I'm looking at them, I'm like, okay, that's cool because that's a captain, and if you like the chapter, that's also cool. If you like astartes in general, that's also cool. But they're not the most popular chapters. That red one that I want to get, the Blood Angel, Blood Angels are like a lot cooler for most people, and most people just like them more compared to, let's say, these ones, the salamanders. They're both, oh, Goldie wants food, I
But
think.
they're, but
They're both
from
cool.
them you can have more than one, right? The dead guys.
Yeah, I mean, in the previous release, which once again, damn it, I missed that, but I'm hoping that I'm gonna get at least one of those. There was another guy from the red. Can you help Goldie? I'm sorry.
Another guy from the left.
Another guy from the Blood Angels, and he was even cooler. He was a primaris. I think that they're all primaris, by the way. But yeah, he was from the newer types of astartes and all those things. So he decided to do 2 Blood Angels. 2. Once again, I really can't think of his logic here. I'm not complaining. I mean, if I have to pick what I would buy, because these in Bulgaria, they're going to cost me almost 70 leva. It hurts to think about it. There was in the
Like
previous,
every action figure in Bulgaria.
yeah, in the previous release there was also one ultramarine, but he wasn't a chapter. He wasn't a captain. I wouldn't really get the ultramarine because then again, the ultramarines, they're the chapter that's like most popular, but people kind of hate them because they're most popular. They're like the Boy Scouts of the Warhammer universe almost. Their primarch Gilliman, though, is the one that's surviving and currently ruling in the lore. He is the current guy that rules the Imperium, and he's taking direct. He is in direct communication with the Emperor on different occasions. So he's the guy he's the Emperor Regent, and their chapters are the blue guys, his chapter. But people don't really like these guys because they're just all over the place. And the Boy Scouts, they're like, oh, perfect and dandy, and they have all the qualities. And, all chapters have different qualities that are relative to their primarch. So whatever the primarch can do, they have similar, abilities or some virtues or some qualities that the primarch have. They're obviously astartes, so they are not primarchs. They cannot have the primarch's powers, but they have some tendencies and character traits that the primarch has. So that's what makes a chapter cool or not cool. They're like different different tribes almost, with their different beliefs and the way that they do things differently. And there's even another chapter, and you guys know them pretty well. They're also very popular. The black. Oh, damn it, I'm not sure why. Maybe because it's late, but the Templars, the Black Templars, they're black and white. And these are the guys that the Flash Kids use for their animation to make Flash Kids Black Templars versus the fluffy, not the fluffies, the
The fluffies.
not the fluffies, tell me guys in the chat. The plush, the people that dress themselves in plush, you know them.
Furries.
The furries, yes.
Aren't these people who like anthropomorphic characters?
Yes, don't get into that topic. The point is that the Black Legion, the Black Templars, are so popular that we have a lot of fan animations with them, and we have even Flash Kids as fan animation. Using them as a to represent Astartes in general, and go and kill the the not the fluffies, the furries, the furries. So I mean, the point is, guys, there's so many other Astartes legions that could be used here instead of Chaos Marine. Some people they love to play Chaos Marines on the tabletop, and Chaos Marines do look cool. And Corn Chaos Marines. If I have to pick a Chaos Marine, chapter or kind of a Chaos Marine, I would totally pick Corn. because Korn is like the god of war and the god of
Mhm.
blood, and he's like the most well, you can say that he's like out of all the gods, he's the coolest and the strongest. That's kind of arguable, but yeah, because Nurgle is disgusting, and Slanesh is half a woman, half a man, and he is all kinds of nasty and and uncensored.
So maybe he's trying to get more into the things that are popular from tabletop, but in an action figure form, or who knows.
Still no. So
Or maybe he just it's not a fan of those things, but some people will buy them and he tries to. I actually don't know if he's into Warhammer and if he knows some of those things.
paraplegics, psychopath. Of course, Easter of Chickensky too. There's no normal god in Warhammer. Anyway, continuing. So yeah, no logic about these guys. I have no idea. And there even stranger choice is to make to release a Chaos Marine that is customizable, because how many people know how to customize these figures? You have to have special paints, you have to break the whole figure down and paint it and make sure that the joints does not stick, everything
Because
is
of the
dry,
paint, yes.
so you can put it together and the
You
paint
have to
won't
pull
like
everything together,
chafe, and there's so many things that you have to know. So out of 4 figures to put like 2 that are customized, I just don't get that. Other than that, this is very, very cool. Like even yeah, that's very cool. Oh wait, I want to magnify that. That is a Slanesh, I think. Yeah, that looks like a Slaneshi demon. Yeah, so he picked one that's not corn, and that's interesting. I think it's not Zinch. Yes, I think it's okay. And here we have basically the same type like that one, the red one, but it's not painted once again, so it's a customizable one. But I don't know, with that face helmet, it could be maybe most chapters.
Most
Really.
people actually customize exactly that part.
Which part? The helmet?
The helmet.
Oh yeah, you can paint it like this face part. You can paint in different color.
Also, if you know how to sculpture things,
Oh yeah, you can. There's a lot of variety in how Space Marines can look in one chapter, one battalion. Even I mean, they all have their distinctive looks and all of that. So I just don't see the logic really, guys, of this release. It's cool and all, but as a Warhammer fan, I'm going to do the following thing. I'm going to try to get into that big bad toy store, because I just found out that they have a worldwide shipping and compare the prices with Amazon, and at least get that guy here. Whatever really I can get, guys, because it's painfully expensive anyways. Those figures, that's what I want to tell you. The McFarlane figures are very big.
7-inch.
That's
Scale.
Mostly bigger than some other
Then
figures.
6-inch.
Well, yes.
6 inch is the regular size for a regular action figure.
Is that like 15 centimeters?
Around it, yes.
Let me check.
I mean, he's doing 7-inch because he can't do 6-inch.
It's like, it says here it's 17 centimeters.
Is it 17?
Which is awesome.
7 inches. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's 1778, which is
1778,
almost
yes.
18 centimeters. That's a pretty big figure, guys. So I just love big figures, and of course when you see Space Marine, they're huge with their armor. It looks so awesome. And of course, guys, if this video does well, I'm going to do a Joy Toy official release review, a video about their figures as well, because they're different, they're smaller, so I think it's worth the talk.
Even some of the armor actually look different, interesting.
Yes.
Well, one of the things also why he probably does exactly those characters is, again, parts.
And just let me try to show you the other one, which is even cooler. even cooler than that one from the previous release. I mean, if I have to get something, I would totally get that one. But he's currently super expensive on Amazon.
Yeah,
so.
this was actually the one that I saw then, and I liked as a design.
Damn it, I can't believe it. If ever there's something in our site from Warhammer, I'm gonna be all over it. Ah, it looks so amazing. It's up close.
Maybe they'll put up some stock on the new ones, but then again,
And this guy's like, I mean, he is even stronger than the previous one because he has this. Okay, well, let me just show you
can they
guys.
see it actually?
No.
Well.
I'm gonna show it. Like, hold on. Yes, here he is. So yeah, if I have to get like a space marine, I'd rather get that one. That one. He's awesome. He's just awesome, guys. Just look at it. Look at it. I have to put it like front and center.
But we can still ask actually the Warhammer fans, so what figures would they like? I mean, probably Todd McFarlane should do the same thing, just to ask, you know, so like a poll or something. Sometimes they do that for figures actually. Which characters would you like to see or to have? And they don't always do the results after.
Yeah,
that,
I mean,
but still.
it is no brainer if McFarlane can bring the Emperor. Maybe GW doesn't
just-
want that.
Testing the water. Plus, some
don't
of the
know.
parts are really usable, like the legs and other things. So probably he just tries to put some characters that kind of look the same, so that you have some different parts, but you reuse others. Or he's really testing the water to see, okay, let's see now how those fix will do. Because actually his brand of DC figures, the DC Motorverse brand, actually became the best-selling toy line of last year.
Oh, that's
But that's for the
great.
DC.
He doesn't
things.
make Marvel, or he doesn't.
No, he can't. Hasbro have the rights of everything that
only
is Marvel.
Hasbro.
Yeah.
Okay.
With DC, it's a bit different because several companies have the license for DC, just not in the same scale. That's why he's doing 7 in scale, because he can't do 6. That's for other company.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
lucky
Otherwise,
for
he-
us.
yeah, I mean, you know me, 6 or 7. If it looks cool, I'm there. So,
Yeah.
so he actually did the things with DC. He showed that it's possible. So maybe with that, he's just testing the water because he's not exactly sure what will happen. Plus, he has to use some of the parts for that. Maybe that's the logic, because I mean, if you ask me, it's logical. Sure, to have some army builders like the Stormtroopers of Star Wars, as I told you, some people buy 10, and then they buy one Vader, of course, and they display it as an army. Maybe he tries to do that here, and if they sell good, maybe then something like the Emperor, you know, the
My
ones
puppy.
that are more
My puppy is here.
favorite, or things like that.
What is that on your face?
Is it like a fluff or something?
Yeah, it's like a fuzz or something. So, yeah, guys. My point was that I think that if GW allows him, if he can get the primarchs and the freaking Emperor, people are gonna like kill themselves to get those figures. I mean, who doesn't
If
want?
they pretty much gave him the rights to, you know, I think they. Why would they tell him, okay, you get the rights for some toys, but for these guys?
It's possible.
I mean, it's possible.
I mean, unless you see some kind of official art of a book, like an audiobook or something else, you don't really know how the characters really look like. You only have like a general idea. Let's say Horus. We now have a cinematic for the new tabletop Horus Heresy game, and you see Horus for the first time in CGI. You never saw Horus before, ever. So, yeah, I mean, they have to come up with some kind of an official look for most characters. I guess, I mean, you saw the Emperor, there's some tabletop, I think, of the Emperor, so okay, you do see him, how he's supposed to look, but they don't have, like, a definitive look of, like, everyone. Maybe that's the issue, I don't know.
Probably that's one of the things, yes.
But you cannot tell me that, the Emperor and the Primarchs and the Custodies, like, get a generic Custody, if you will, or the Captain General, at least not that generic. You put them there, or... damn it, I forgot his name. Not Drago. Constantine Valdor or something. People are gonna kill themselves for these figures,
Really?
okay? when it's particular character, particular custody, Henry Cavill's favorite custodies, and the custodies are like the best possible type of a soldier
Well, yeah, I mean,
that you can
it's
have after the primarchs. They're the imperial guard, the ones that protect the emperor in every second. They're basically immortal if you don't kill them. They can just still like stay there like this and protect him. So
usually that's one
they're
of
the
the
coolest.
logics when you put a wave of action figure. Let's say if the wave consists of 5 characters, usually 4 of them must be some of the big hitters, and then you put one that is like an army builder, so that people. But not to make a full wave of army builders, because you don't know. It's really interesting, actually. Really, if we could see how those things
we
sell.
don't know. We don't know what he has like a deal with
We don't know,
GW.
yeah, that, or as I told you, most of the time he's really random with his like his writing of comic books.
Everything
Anyway,
is random with
as I told you,
these
he
lines.
especially also in the DC lines. I mean, he has around 15 Batman figures, which are different Batman from different comic books, but it's from the more modern comic books, like what was it like? I forget the name. Was something like Death Metal Wars, something like that. So these are more modern, not so classical things and things like that. Which, as he said in an interview, I just saw him on the art, and I said this will look cool on toy, and I can sell 50 Batman. I can't sell so much of the other guys.
Yeah. Yeah, but with Warhammer we just
But here it should
really
be
don't
different.
know.
I mean, yeah, we really don't
it
know.
really
Actually, maybe
doesn't make
most
sense.
of the fans actually prefer the tabletop thingies and not so much of an action figure form. And really, he's trying to test the things. I mean, who knew?
Well,
Although, I mean, people who play tabletop games should collect an action figures.
well, they will get. Well,
Kinda. I mean,
they're probably saving their money for getting the actual figures
Probably.
that you
Yeah.
can play the tabletop with, but
Yeah.
and paint them because that's a part of the hobby. But Eater of Chickens, which is awesome name,
Nice,
says,
nice one.
"Wait a little, and someone somewhere will convert it to a Commander Dante." Well,
Yeah, but
yeah,
that's the-
if you can sculpt, if you can sculpt the things, but that is actually a very good suggestion to come up with a character that's not generic once again. And from the Astartes, the most accomplished one of the most accomplished one, is this guy that's Commander Dante. So he is one of the oldest space marines that ever lived, and he's still alive. And he is from the Blood Angels chapter, the same chapter. So yeah, this guy maybe could be converted to Dante. So because
but
he also has that on the head.
Then again, McFarlane could do the same thing because he has the parts. So
Yeah,
he
and-
can make
yeah.
the figure also. I mean, yeah, a lot of customizers can do that, but isn't it the thing that you should not have to make this by yourself and giving money for material and time, unless if you don't like customizing, of course. But for actually a company give you that toy.
Yeah,
Pretty much
it
has
is
the
some of the
parts,
main
yes.
characters.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Well, of course, I mean,
Let's have one Inquisitor like Inquisitor Azehorn, the one that is more famous. Let's have, let's say, a Sister of Battle that's more famous than the other Sisters of Battle. Then let's have all the Primarchs, because why wouldn't you want? And when you have the Primarchs, you have a loyalist version of the Primarchs, and some of them that turn into demons, basically, which is so cool, to have both. Like, who will want to have both, if you're a fan of the Primarchs. Then you have the Emperor. The Emperor on the throne could be another figure, although it could be just a statue because he's not moving there. He's
well,
kind of
I
dead.
mean, he can make, like he does with some of the DC figures, I mean, he can save you the Emperor, or he can save you the throne as a separate thing, like he does it with, the Batman, and then the Bat Cycle is a different toy, and you have to buy both of them. So
No, you can't, because
No.
he is
he
integrated in
has
the
to-
throne.
Okay, but maybe you can stick it together, things. Or yeah, he can make actually a cool statue thing, that.
And the only
So-
the only way that the Emperor works is he is one with the throne. Just no other way.
What about before he was this?
Before
the great thing
normal
that is there?
figure with the Emperor with the golden armor, and that's it.
But then did he have a throne to sit on?
Well, yes, but that's not. But he's all over the place. He's
Uh-huh,
working. He's
yeah.
not there. He's not sitting in the throne room being like, "Oh, I'm the emperor." He's working like all the time.
Unlike other emperors.
He's actually active all the time. So yeah, he's working on the Way project, and yeah, he's not that type that he's depicted in the throne that much.
So he can make a really cool statue of the other thing. So here we go. But maybe It's either a right issue really or something else. Who
Okay,
knows?
let me check what you guys are saying because we do have to go. We can talk about figures and Warhammer all day. Indeed, we need to keep in mind that some people don't think twice before buying. So for a collection, they are willing to get several of the same figure. If you, I don't know. I mean, you in one particular chapter, you can't have a lot of these guys, let's say, because he's more accomplished. You'll have more of the generic astartes. These guys are usually, leaders in the chapter. So that's one thing to consider. A Horus and Angron. Yeah, whoever. I mean, Horus Angron, you can. It's amazing. You can have Horus loyalist, Horus when he's not loyalist. So it's gonna be so cool. I hide Curse somewhere in the house and I have him scare my flatmate. And Conrad Curse is kind of like the crow from the Warhammer universe. He looks like the crow, but
Nice.
huge and yeah, he's very cool. I mean, if you see how the primarchs are depicted in the official art and all of that, or not official art, you probably totally love some of them, how they look.
Well,
Just
I mean,
love
it's
some
kind
of
of
them.
logical to put figures of the main characters, not main, but
Those are
of the
main
popular characters, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's my
I
point.
mean,
You only have a few, top astartes that are popular, like from the Ultramarines. You have Sicarius, let's say, who everybody likes to make fun of him. He's a funny guy. I mean, he's like very accomplished, but yeah. Anyways, that's from TTS, some funny stuff from TTS. And you have the other guy that is in the Marvel comic books, the ones that Marvel publishes. With the red eye. Phew, totally forgot his name now. So yeah, you do have some, chapter masters. Then you can do and from the other super popular chapter, the Royal Dome chapter, the Iron Fists, they're all yellow. Maybe you've seen them somewhere.
so there are many characters that he can actually do, but he's trying with the
Yeah,
for
so
some
many
reason
other things are
interesting.
more popular than the salamanders. No offense to the salamanders. They have actually the most care for human beings, which is great. Because their primarch is, more of a caring soul compared to the others. But yeah, Kaugar, yes, exactly. That is the guy with with the bionic eye, I think. And he turned primaris, which is even cooler now. So yeah, he survived the operation, turned primaris. I mean, he's so cool. Excuse me. Kaugar beats Swam something. And Slum Lord, yes. And I also saw that, McFarlane has an orc, which is cool. It was a generic orc. But that's
the
cool.
works one with some thingies around it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have an orc because the orcs are really, really popular. So here is a logic within.
Maybe he actually got the logic now that he sees how his things are sold.
Yes, and so so I'm in the McFarlane site. And I see that he
also has a
has.
set of small figures.
Yeah, so he has one. I'm pretty sure that I can show you this, guys. So hold on, I'm gonna try to show you this. What we are seeing. But just to pick the right thing, window. Let's try with window. No, it's not window. Okay, so browser. And here, I think that's enough actually. Let's try this. Okay. I don't know why it's freaking transparent, but you're still going to see something at least. So, okay. So let's. I'm going to do this for a bit. I can't. You can't see what. That's weird. Okay. Then I'm going to try the other way. Real quick. Yeah, I'm really gonna try it with window. Yeah, that worked. That works. Okay, so so you can see now better. So he has like one orc that's customizable, which okay, that's okay. Those are all just orcs. They're all different in general, so that's fine. But they're still generic orcs. We have a Tyrannid, which is a generic Tyrannid, or actually this is a Gene Stealer. Yeah, Gene Stealer, and you have one more Gene Stealer here to customize, and we have the one that I was going to get because it was cheaper at Amazon. This is the Ultramarine. That doesn't seem to be a captain, and you have a similar version of him that is customizable. So that's cool and all, but still really.
But are these in different scale, or why is it like a bundle or things like that?
Why is like a bundle?
I mean, you buy all of them, or I mean,
Well, they're separate. They're also sold separately. They should be in the same scale. 12 plus.
should be in the same one, yeah.
I mean,
Maybe
if
just the
this guy is the same inch one.
shop, yeah, and the shop sells them as a bundle.
Yeah, so you have
So
it
they
as a
have them
bundle.
separately, yeah.
Yeah, and okay, so the Tyrannid, let's say he has to be the same size.
Yeah.
That's
Or
a
maybe even a
disgusting.
bit bigger.
That's a disgusting Gene Stealer. 7 scale.
So it's 7 HP.
Yeah, so yeah, should be the same.
Mm.
So he has, as you can see here, guys, he has a lot of, customizable figures.
Maybe if he's watching, he can tell us actually what's the logic behind.
Yeah, what the heck is the logic? And you have one Sisters of Battle that's customizable. That's interesting. And one normal Sister of Battle, and that's it. And yeah, guys, so what to tell? I mean, I would get the one that is no longer in the site. It's probably sold out. That primaris with the Blood Angel with the goat. That one. So that's the best. If I can get that, I would get that anytime. And yes, wah! That is what orcs say. Sisters of Silence. Oh, yeah, that's another faction of super famous Warhammer warrior type. Sisters of Silence. And they're not here at all.
Maybe they will be.
Well, they're silent, so they couldn't say to be here. They couldn't request to be here. They literally don't talk. So, but they're badass.
But McFarlane can hear it anyway.
Yeah. They are news.
I mean, it took him probably 20 years to give us a, a really articulated spawn figure.
There's
so we don't know how
There's
much
that.
time,
There's
you
that.
know.
Yes.
So, and it's still a spawn figure based on Mortal Kombat 11. It's not from his comic book. Pretty much looks the same, but still, if it wasn't for that, I don't know.
Yeah. Yes, their silence is deafening. Okay, guys. So thanks, dear Clayton, for providing the link to the McFarlane site. It's very convenient. Thank you very much. So, guys, we gotta go. It is past midnight, but thank you so much for watching. And like I said, if you want to support the videos about figures, because we can do these, and we plan to do the Batman figure is still from McFarlane when that comes. Yeah, I mean, make sure you share at least the videos and comment on them, because that's the way that we're going to help the algorithm. Otherwise, it's our passion, but if nobody sees these,
as we say, yeah,
it's really
Warhammer fans
discouraging.
can really say actually what characters would they like to see. This would be interesting also to know.
Yeah, and
because maybe Todd McFarlane didn't do that research, so
yeah,
let's
if somehow we
see.
can tell him what we want to see.
Would you actually buy these type of action figures, or you prefer the tabletops?
Oh yeah, do you prefer the tabletops? Will you buy some of the action figures, but the ones that are customizable? Will you do that? All those things, guys, just share on the comments down below. Click the like or dislike button, whatever. Just interact with the video, and I'm going to get first thing that I can get. At least one of these McFarlane figures, because they're the biggest. And like I said, if you like this video, we can cover also the Joy Toy line that is coming up as well. So yeah, that is it for now, guys. May the Emperor guide you to all to better days. Ave Emperor, thank you very much, eater of chickens. And you can
Let you eat
even
many chicken.
yes, you can even tell me down below how do you like your chicken, baked, fried, whatever it is. Let me know down below. That's interesting to me. You prefer Titans? Jesus Christ! If there's like this kind of a class of figures, it has to be like huge, like this big. I don't know how that's gonna happen, but
Oh, they are figures that are
yeah,
that big.
surely. But the Warhammer ones are
By the way.
like Voltron scale, huge, huge, huge. So yeah, have a great one. Favorite chicken is T-Rex.
Nice one, yeah.
Yes,
Here we go.
T-Rex guys.
The most dangerous chicken of them all.
Ah, charred by a heavy flamer. Yes. Okay. So we're killing the chicken with a heavy bolter. Although he's gonna, because of the heavy bolter, it has such a huge bullet. It's probably gonna burst. But okay, if there's something left of the chicken, we're going to cook it with the heavy flamer, and we are done.
And there's a cookbook after that.
Yes. Damn it. And I mean, we can be here all night if I have to think about how many things you can do when it comes to Warhammer figures, but there are also the Grey Knights, which are so freaking cool. They're like have bigger armor than the Astartes, but they're so cool.
So if actually Todd McFarlane has a
Unbelievable.
Twitter or Instagram or something, maybe we can ask him.
Yeah, and there's one particular Grey Knight that just is the coolest guy. I just believe how many characters you can do, and yeah, I have no words about that. So, sleep well, guys. And Emperor Bruce, yes. Hope you had a great time with tonight's 2 streams. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow is not what it's
Tuesday.
Okay, on Wednesday. If we have something in Warhammer TV, guys, I'm gonna be happy to review it. I don't know what that could be, but like if they release a new episode of Interrogator. First episode was very boring. You have to like noir. You can watch my review of that. It's right here on the channel, one of the recent videos as well. So with that being said, guys, thank you super much for watching. Let us know if you want to see the future videos of any types of figures really, and Warhammer of course. And have a great new week, guys. Love ya. Bye bye.